and girls. Welcome to Simmer Mining Company, where the mining's good and the jerky's even better. Truth be told, I ain't found any gold or silver in this here stream for years. But I stayed here on account of the jerky, nuts, and honey in the store. It's just so darn tasty. Go on inside and get you some smoking hot beef brisket. It is tasty.
Howdy, folks. This is Hard Rock Harris, and I'm here with Mrs. Annie Rickert, two miners from Calico's heyday. We would like to welcome you aboard the Calico and Odessa Railroad.
Howdy there, folks. Y'all please stay seated as we take a ride together along the back country of Old Calico. As we go around this first curve, notice the miners' cabins built along the canyon walls. As crude as they appear, they were ideal for protecting us from the hot summers and cold winters here at Calico, and perfect for the independent types who like to fend for themselves. Of course, many miners stayed in boarding houses, mainly for modern conveniences like home cooking.
I got my nickname Hard Rock because that was exactly the kind of mining we did around here. The rock is so hard and we didn't have any water to use for mining, so we had to hack and blast away at the rock.
During the boom years, Calico's 10 square mile mining district boasted a population of nearly 2,000, with almost 1,000 actually living in the town side of Calico. After the mining ended, Calico really was a ghost town. That's to say, it was mainly abandoned, but it was restored and reconstructed by the Knott family in the 1950s. Back then, they had workers actually living here. These folks served the role of security for the town, a tradition that continues to this day.
As we round this next curve, look to the left of the engine and notice the pile of rocks painted white with a white marker on top. This is an example of what a corner monument looked like. We use them on all four corners of our claims to alert everyone that they may be trespassing and to remind claim jumpers to stay away. Remember how the first traces of silver were discovered right on the ground in the spring of 1881, and Calico's silver rush was on. Miners came from all over, including well-known towns such as Virginia City, Bodie, and Tombstone, Arizona.
The closer a railroad could be run to the mines, the better.
This large area to the left of the train was where some of the miners lived. There is still one surviving wall out there that's outlined in white. Beyond the mountain to the northeast was East Calico, where among others the big Bismarck mine was. There was a little community out there with a store and a saloon. The Stacy brothers carried mail the mile and a half between Bismarck and Calico, even training their dog Dorsey to do it for them.
I remember that. They strapped a saddlebag right on his back so he could carry the mail and packages.
As we pause here, take a look at the top of King Mountain, where your engineer is now pointing. The only mine that is open daily for guests to safely go into themselves is the Maggie Mine. Just below the Silver King, there appears to be just an ordinary pile of rocks. Actually, that is remnants of the Silver King mine. Look left. This is an ore crusher called an arista. Miners would hitch a horse or mule to that crossbar and have it walk round and round, which caused the steel ball to drag over and crush the ore before it was taken to a processing mill. Of course, by the 1880s, this method was kinda old-fashioned, but it was still a respectable way of making sure every bit of silver was scraped up.
We did work hard to get all that silver. Now have a look over to one of my favorite views from Calico. Down there is the Silver Valley, as we called it, and past that old dry lake is the sandy bed of the Mojave River. In those early years, drinking water for Calico had to be brought over from the river, which ran above ground at the time, and sold for about 5 to 20 cents a gallon. That water supply also gave birth to our neighboring town of Daggett.
Calico was a real town for about 20 years. We had a post office, school, courtroom, newspapers, and a slew of stores. Not to mention quite a few saloons, I can promise you that. Luckily, we even had doctors, lawyers, and a justice of the peace.
My favorite place was the town hall, where we had dances and all kinds of entertainment.
Those were dandy, huh? Now as we get closer to the train depot, take a look down into the gully to the left of the train. These ruins are from the Chinatown, where almost 40 Chinese lived and worked at Calico during the boom years. Andy did laundry for the miners and operated a couple of restaurants. Well, folks, we hope you had fun and maybe you learned a few things on our tour today.
All done. Did you have fun?
How was that for your birthday train ride?
I had a lot of fun. That was great.
It does. I'm the navigator today. We'll see how I do.
Well, both. It's a learning experience on this boat.
Yep. 16 tracks there. Hey guys, come over here.
I don't think she's in.
Girl, come in. Come here. Hey. Come here. Shetland. You go horses for now.
No.
And can I get olives? Which one are you getting?
All three.
Yay!
You said you wish
I
plums.
wanted
You've
plums,
been
yes.
hankering for
I've been
plums.
craving plums, yes. And
Do
cherries.
you want these or those plums?
Those will look like that. I can bag it for you?
You have some down here.
Oh, you got some down over there?
Apricots.
This is, yeah. These are
Give me a kiss to build a dream on, and my imagination will thrive upon that kiss. Sweetheart, I ask no more than this, a kiss to build a dream on. Give me a kiss before you leave me, and my imagination will feed my hungry heart. Leave me one thing before we part, a kiss to build a dream on. When I'm alone with my fancies, I'll be with you, weaving romances